You're hitting the bag, right? I see you hitting them. When you walk, I want you to do like this. Boom, 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 boom. They keep for boom, 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 boom. How long you can do that? 1, 2, 1, 2.
Well, I don't want to hold you up, so maybe we could meet up in person again and chop it up over some food or something like that.
Okay, it'd be my pleasure, brother.
Yes, sir.
Good luck with your fight, brother.
Before the Jake Paul bout, Mike Tyson himself stepped up at Gervonta Davis's camp in a move that sent shockwaves through the boxing world. And that gym's atmosphere abruptly changed from solemn to almost barbaric.
I do have more skills than Mike Tyson, as far as like, I mean, when I say I have more skills than Mike Tyson, guys smarter than, like, at a lower weight class always have more skills. It's no heavyweight ever in life had more skills than smaller guys. So let's just take that out the picture. So when people think that I'm dissing Mike Tyson, I'm not dissing Mike Tyson, for sure. It just, facts is facts. You know what I mean? I do feel as though I have more skills than Mike.
Think about it. Tank hit the pads while Iron Mike, the world's most evil man, stood ringside. It was all in Tyson's smile. There, he saw a younger version of himself. The sound of those fists striking the mitts reverberated like thunderclaps as the two sparred in the ring.
I think Gervonta Davis is probably the greatest fighter around now, but he's got a tough fight coming up. You know, he's the top dog, there's no doubt about it. He showed that, but he's a pretty good fighter. Last time I saw him fight, he was pretty durable.
Tyson wasn't merely there to pose for pictures. He was teaching Tank how to harm a man using timing rather than merely force, as well as how to use head movements and peekaboo pressure. Tank was clearly taking everything in, concentrating intently like a pupil studying under the original master of destruction.
I kind of lean towards Davis a little because of his style of fighting, and what makes him different than most fighters that I once did is when he punches, he catapults himself in the air. And normally in the air, you're out of position, you have no leverage. But for some reason, myself and Mr. Davis, our best point is when we're leaping in the air, like being catapulted to punch up, to punch.
Tyson leaned in and said, "Don't just beat him, break his will," as the video cut. That's when you realized that this isn't just another battle for Gervonta Davis. He's wearing Iron Mike's spirit in his gloves as he enters the ring in this legacy statement. Discuss changes in energy. Lamont Roach Jr. abruptly snapped at anyone who believed he was still hung up on Tank after Mike Tyson imparted old knockout knowledge to Tank Davis. To be honest, I understand. The man isn't upset about what has already happened. He is bringing up the fact that the milk was sold on Netflix after being stolen and rebranded.
We had a rematch clause, right? We had a rematch clause. If I'm declared the winner or if the bout was declared a draw, he has the right to exercise an immediate rematch. Guess what he did 2 weeks later after the fight? Exercised his right to the rematch. His contract was signed both ends in June. So there's an official rematch. Undercard and everything, like that shit was supposed to happen.
Lamont entered fiercely, such as, "Y'all keep saying move on, but there's a signed contract, my brother." The best part is that, although he started off calmly, you could feel the DMV energy rising as he yelled, "No, no, no. We will not tolerate this." Just picture yourself getting ready for a rematch, believing you're going to pack your bags, and then waking up to see Tank versus Jake Paul on Netflix. It's more than just a story twist. That is a betrayal in the season finale.
I have a contract, so it's not like this wasn't supposed to happen or whatever the case may be. He just went and took the Jake route. We had a set, signed contract to fight. Like, he came out and disrespected me on social media, whatever the case may be. I don't know who he think like I am or what I'm not gonna go like that. So people saying that I've been dragging on them, talking shit and all that. If anybody noticed, I never talked shit about them.
And let's be honest, Lamont was right. When it comes time to show up, You can't be out here using a rematch clause like it's a gym membership and then disappearing. Handle business the right way, the man said. And since he isn't upset over the fight, I sensed that in my taxes. The disrespect has angered him. That is the difference between social media celebrities and actual combatants. Additionally, there are 200 million rumors about Jake. Tank lands a counter left, but Lamont fired that down faster. He's performing live arithmetic out here. For example, where is the additional $150 million coming from, bro? PayPal. You are not even able to argue. He is expressing what half of the boxing community has been considering. Although Jake Paul may be bringing the circus, someone neglected to inform him that this sport isn't a carnival ride.
No matter how many people buy the pay-per-view. So that's an extra 8 to 10 million. Where's the money disparity? If he's supposed to be making 40, 50 million, where's the big money disparity?
You don't think Jake Paul cuts a check?
Jake Paul gonna give him a check.
Yeah.
But do you think he gonna get the gate?
No.
Okay. Thus, we go on to Paulie and Coach Garcia after Roach Linton to the business side. Indeed, the atmosphere shifts from courtroom drama to ringside revelry. You're heard. Sure, we'll take the circus, Florida responded. Suddenly, as the press conference unfolds like a bizarre variety show, Jake is stooping down to check your homework. Paulie and Garcia refer to it as such. A performance that passes for a battle. And I concur that appearances do important.
You know, it's just about the main one, the exhibition, which is what I'm calling it, because it's not a fight. You know, it's an exhibition, it's a show, and more likely we're all going to watch because it's just part of the sport, part of boxing right now, part of what we're living already. We're already living it. You know, it's something that's happening. We might get a call also, you know, with one of our fighters, or we might get a call to be on the undercard, stuff like that. So we have to admit that we just have to learn.
Hardcore boxers won't kindly applaud if you put an exhibition on the headline. Meaningful fights are what we seek. You're not mistaken if you believe Netflix algorithms are the new regulatory agency. These days, they choose stars over merit. I'm watching this to see if Tank defends more than his cash account, not just for the punches. His legacy is at stake. This is the hot take you were unaware you required. Directly from the mayhem that Robert Garcia and Paulie Malignaggi were creating. These two spilled the entire pot of tea instead of just sipping it. Paulie is beaming at me like if he's watching a reality show. Meltdown, claiming that Jake is battling the boxing brand rather than the sport.
Modern MMA fans are younger than boxing fans, right? So that's, I guess that's why it goes that way, you know? So I assume that's what Jake Paul's fan base is, a little bit younger as well. So I guess you have to sort of bring in this circus type of vibe. I mean, for Gervonta Davis, he looked like, I don't know, he looked a little confused or out of place, you know?
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
And he thought like
a professional at an amateur event. Like, kind of what am I doing here? Yeah.
I mean, again, he wants to get the money and whatever. I get it, you know, but then, you know, you subject yourself to this if you want.
Garcia, meanwhile, is nodding like a guy who has witnessed too many hype trains implode when confronted with actual blows. Both of them are right on. This battle is a cultural test that goes both ways. Tank gives the story back to the YouTubers if he shows up acting like it's easy money. The greatest boxers were compensated to be cautious. However, it turns into a statement if he adopts a more traditional, body-snatching, tight guard approach and shuts Jake down like a Wi-Fi blackout. Tank demonstrates that boxing remains popular. Jake, on the other hand, either gains respect or receives a harsh reminder that opinions do not excuse violence. Paulie and Garcia, who spotted this circle approaching from a mile away, will be smiling in any case.
It's actually embarrassing just to see what Tank chose to do instead of doing what a real fighter should have done. You know, everybody seen what happened. Everybody seen that Roach deserved to be champion. He should have given him that rematch. That fight is the one that should be happening. There's no way, you know, to me, it's embarrassing just to see that.
Adam Catterall and Gareth A. Davies appeared like two academics bringing boxing back to earth after Paulie and Garcia had finished dropping truth bombs. Gareth referred to it as a circus. To be honest, He's not incorrect. However, let's face it, it's the sort of circus where purists in the stands weep as the ringmaster prints money. Tank Davis, a pound-for-pound destroyer, is taking on a YouTuber who has morphed into a gladiator and is nearly twice his size. It may sound crazy, but you can't deny it. You would continue to purchase the pay-per-view as weight divisions and belts are no longer relevant. When boxing meets the algorithm, it's about who controls the show. According to Gareth, boxing is no longer practiced in America. And while he might be somewhat correct, Jake Paul simply purchased the casket if this is the funeral. We're all bringing popcorn, and Tanks is providing the pyrotechnics.
Watching boxing in the United States of America. That has left a hole that the broadcasters have looked to fill, and they've done this with influencer boxing, which brings a completely different audience to the game. Every promoter and broadcaster on this planet is to blame for this situation that we are finding ourselves in right now. They've opened the door to clowns, and now we've got ourselves a circus. It is a travesty.
You can tell Adam is conflicted. A portion was amused, while another was repulsed. It's similar to seeing fries served alongside a Michelin-starred steak at your favorite restaurant. False, yet somewhat remarkable. I do understand their perspective, though. All of us grew up watching great fighters like Ali, Tyson, and Pacquiao, and now we're seeing a YouTuber spar with a world champion. Here's the twist, though. People pay attention for precisely that reason. Chaos is effective. The younger generation views it as the major event, even though you could term it a circus. Additionally, as long as Jake continues to profit and Tank continues to explode highlights, perhaps this embarrassment is the best marketing boxing has seen in a long time. Because Jake Paul is bringing boxing back to the mainstream, whether you like it or not. Every traditional critic is being transformed into an underpaid promoter, haters into viewers, and casuals into fanatics. Controversy is more valuable these days than championship belts, and Jake Paul is adept at making the most of it.
When it's commercial,
Of course.
as opposed to athletic and commercial.
Right. So why is
We've
a
got
lad...
the best against the best in their prime.
So why is a
That's
lad off the
athletic.
Disney Channel the best
He's
commercial...
not a lad off the Disney Channel.
Come on,
anymore.
he is.
That's a long time ago.
Come on, he's a novice
long
boxer.
time ago.
He's a novice boxer.
He
Would he
is a-
win a British title? He didn't beat Tommy Fury for crying out loud. How's he going to beat this guy?
He wouldn't win a British title.
Right
I
then.
do think he's a novice boxer. He's an area level fighter. That's what I agree with. That's why I thought it was disgusting, a disgrace, and dangerous, and it still is, for him to step in against Anthony Joshua. I don't agree with.
There you have it. The entire situation feels less like a build-up and more like a theatrical clash. From Paulie Garcia and the TalkSport crew slicing open boxing soul to Iron Mike giving Tank knockout scriptures to Roach taking aim at the business side. Legacy versus legacy is the topic of discussion. Fight or fame? The loudest tongue of our age squares off against the purest puncher of his time. One thing is true regardless of what occurs in that ring. Tank Davis is the calm, even though Jake Paul is the result. I want to hear from you now. Is boxing being saved or is it being sold out? Leave your comments below. Like the boxing family we are, let's argue it. Additionally, remember to subscribe, like, and share Boxing Headquarters. The comments are where the real battle begins. See you at the following one.